There we go. Should be on now. What's up, guys? Thank you very much for joining us today. This is Broke Nerfing. Here with interview series number 16. We're already up to 16. I'm doing one a week. I'm trying to do one a week. I was kind of going overboard and doing like 2 a week. Well, at first I was doing like 3, like one every other day. Then I was doing like 2 a week. But that's just a little too much. I'm going to slow it down, do one a week, especially because it's the holidays too, and it gives me a chance to be lazy and not feel too guilty about it. I may sound a little different. I'm not using my microphone right now. It is unfortunately in the office, and my key isn't working to get in. So I can't get into the office right now, which is a total bummer. So I hope you guys don't mind me using the regular mic here on the laptop. I do apologize. I hope you could hear me all right. But I wanted to get this interview going, and I wanted to, sorry, dropped my pen. And I wanted to get, I wanted to come online for you guys. You know, I didn't want to skip out on this. So thank you so much for joining us. Here with Valours Blasters, Mr. Josh Church. Why don't you say hello to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
All right. Gosh, there's only one person in here right now. Oh, it says there's 6.
Yeah, I see Frankenzilla. I see Boomtendo.
Hey, Frankenzilla's here. What? Hey,
yeah.
James Cooper. Thanks for stopping by. James is my buddy. He known him since high school. Frankenzilla, what's going on? Good to see you, my friend. Boomtendo. Good to see you as always. Renegade, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I think this is the first time you've been here. Rigel Star, what's up, brother? Rigel Star, hope to see you on New Year's Eve at our New Year's Eve mod party / Nerf night. Funkytron, Big Al Scooter Girl, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I'm here with Josh Church, Valours Blasters. He does amazing mods. He does some really good stuff. If you guys haven't seen him, you should really check him out. The link to his channel is in the description of this video. So yeah, really, you guys really should see what he's doing if you haven't seen what he's done yet. So we're going to go ahead and talk with him and have him show us some of the mods he's been doing and some of the mods he's done. And we're going to talk about all things Nerf and whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat. If you guys haven't been to my channel or you haven't been to my streams before, you could ask questions in the chat and I will relay them to Josh and he will answer them to the best of his abilities. And just make sure you keep it on topic. If I skip your question, it might be because it was off topic. You know, if I'm sitting here and we're talking about his latest mods and you guys are asking him, you know, what he got his niece for Christmas. I mean, it's you know, it's not going to, it's probably going to get skipped over, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so make sure you guys keep the questions on topic, but please feel free to ask questions in the chat. We really do, we really would like you to, we would like you guys to be interactive and asking questions, so that'd be really cool. Nerfing Lionheart Customs, Griever, what's up, dude? Good to see you. You was one of my previous interviews. Monkeytron says, hello, Valor, love your work.
Hello. I appreciate all the support and everything. It's it really does kind of blow me away, especially like whenever I started in the hobby and started posting to the Reddit. Like almost right away, I started getting like hundreds of karma on my post, and I was just like, whoa.
Wow, man. That's funny because on Reddit, that's kind of unheard of, dude. Because, you know, it seems like most new guys, they're lamb.
Crazy. But yeah, lately with my my mods and everything, I've been sort of slowing down a little bit because the weather's been kind of bad for painting because, you know, cold weather. It's kind of hard to lay down like I use a combination of both spray paints, brush paints, and my airbrush. And it just is a little bit difficult with cold weather.
Yeah.
I've been working on getting a spray booth set up so I can actually continue doing more of the stuff I do. But yeah.
Right on. So you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, brother. First question. Where you from, man?
Well, I'm originally from West Virginia, from a little small town in Monroe County called Peterstown. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I moved down to North Carolina, mainly because Peterstown's a bit of a dead-end place, and not much there in general. North Carolina is a whole lot better in terms of everything, really. More diverse, more opportunities. Cost of living is a little bit higher, but it's worth it for being able to, be able to get by a little easier rather than having to drive like half an hour to get anywhere in West Virginia.
Yeah, North Carolina is really cool. I actually used to go there quite a bit when I was in the Army. I was stationed out of Virginia, so North Carolina was like right there. I was in Virginia Beach area, so that's like south and south in Virginia, really down south. So yeah, I was right close to the border. Yeah, there is North Carolina is really cool. I really like that place. Weather I don't care for because it's humid. Does that actually affect your painting when you're painting?
Way back when, whenever I used to kind of just mod my Nerf blasters back when I was in like high school and stuff, I used to use a lot of Krylon because it tends to do better with drier climate. But now I've moved over using, like, if I use a spray paint, I usually use Rust-Oleum or Duplicolor because they seem to handle the humidity a little better. I always get people asking me what spray paints are the best and everything, but it really depends on your location and climate and stuff, because like hotter temperatures will mess with paints in certain ways. Humidity can cause it to act weird, temperature especially. The only thing that doesn't really seem to be affected by anything is like acrylic paints and even like brush enamels and stuff, which I've used quite a lot of in the past, like especially for small things like the Double Strike. That is a great little blaster to paint with hand paints because it's just so small and there are a lot of little details you can get into.
Yeah, I figured like the humidity would kind of affect painting in some way. But Scooter Girl actually has a question for you. Scooter Girl asks, how did you get into Nerf?
Well, whenever I was down in West Virginia, I had some birthday money and I went to Walmart and I saw the Recon CS6 and I was like, oh, that looks cool. And I've got enough money to get it. I didn't have quite enough money to get the long shot, which I kind of wanted to get more because it's a bigger blaster and stuff. But I kind of just got it and had a load of fun with it. Then I took it apart and painted it. Like I went with somewhat of a realistic paint job with a lot of like gunmetal gray and stuff. But I was a dumb kid. I didn't know any better back then. And then I sort of took a backseat from that because I did a lot more cosplay and stuff in the past. That's sort of where I kind of built up my experience painting and stuff, like doing higher quality, better paint jobs and stuff, the sculpting and everything and stuff like that.
I have heard of a lot of people coming in from cosplay to the hobby. Yeah, I hear that more and more. I'm thinking maybe that they're doing a lot of work on blasters previously for some costumes. Like I know that a lot of the Marvel, like when Black Widow, I've seen, and Deadpool kind of costumes, they usually use Nerf blasters. Actually, they use Nerf blasters a lot for a lot of any character that holds weapons. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. That if they're painting blasters for their costumes and they kind of get into it a little more and then wanting to mess with the internals. But yeah, that's really cool to have that experience coming into it already,
Yeah. Actually, with like the Marvel Black Series figures or whatever, like especially with the Deadpool, it actually comes with little versions of Nerf blasters that are painted to look more realistic. Like I remember I saw one that had a Diatron and another that had I forget what it was. It might have just been like a Retaliator or something, but it was a Nerf blaster in all intents and purposes, which kind of makes sense because the rights for making toys of Marvel characters and stuff is owned by Hasbro, and Hasbro, as we all know, owns NERF, so they might as well use the molds. And the same thing like with props and stuff. The Guardians of the Galaxy Rocket Raccoon's guns are, one of them is a Night Finder, like based on Night Finder, and the other is based on a Recon Retaliator or whatever. Like it's just been modified heavily and painted up.
Yeah. James Cooper, he's asking, what's the highest FPS blaster you've modded?
Well, the highest FPS blaster I own right now would be the Chimera, whenever I run it with the 20 kilogram turf spring. But the highest one I've modified would have to be the old Atomic Punk long shot, which was just a 16 kilogram turf long shot with a brass breech. And had a low profile rail on the top, and then the low profile worker pump grip. And that thing was really fun. Is just at the time I didn't do much with Steffens, and it was more of a Steffen shooter because it shot so hard. And that thing I eventually sold, but it had like the whole Frankenstrat guitar paint job on it. If you remember that, I think I posted a picture of it a second time on the subreddit after I sort of revived it because it had killed itself at one point, and I had to rebuild the internals.
Oh wow! Scooter Girl's asking us, where do you play?
Mainly, I play at the SCNC if I'm going to a proper war, but lately I've been playing more with the Carolina Dart Coliseum and the Raleigh Youth Nerf Club, which I recently went to their Nerfing for Autism event.
Yeah.
The other week the week before I went to New Atlanta. And I played there for a while, had some stuff to sell on for charity and stuff like that. Some stuff did go to the club itself. But after that, I went down to New Atlanta, which is more of a LARPing sort of event, but we still use Nerf blasters. It's more a little bit, it's got a lower FPS limit than, say, HVZ has a 130. New Atlanta is a 120 because eyewear is not necessary. So I ended up running my Spring Thunder more than anything. Yeah. Which I was an absolute terror with that thing running rival shells.
So how long have you been in the hobby then?
Like I haven't been really active until maybe 2 years ago now, something like that. I'll have to look back at my my posts on the subreddit because when one of my first big mods I ever did was a long strike with the Immortal kit in it. And I was sort of inspired to do it by Adam Savage's video on Nerf modding and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I used to do that. I should do it again because at the time I was working at a bus factory, so I had a good bit of disposable income. So I ordered a long strike off eBay, got an Immortal kit, and went to Walmart, got it was Rust-Oleum, Rich Plum, Matte Black, and like a silver or whatever, and I just kind of went to town on it.
So you've been doing it a while. I know you said you've had a lot of experience in it before the interview when I was asking you, like, just in random talking to you here and there. So what do you get out of it, man? What does this do for you?
I mainly just think it's fun to make things shoot really, really hard. And in my mind, I got to make something look as good as it performs.
Yeah. Like
one of my next candidates for a paint job for my own blasters is this Chronomag that uses the Alpaca Chronomag adapter that I did. And I recently added a holster panel too, so I can have it as a sidearm, which is what I designed it to be since it's only running with K26 and the snub barrel. And currently I run it with Kathana mags because the 10-rounder is about half as long as the 15-round official because it uses the drum springs. And that makes it really, really easy to just keep holstered. Because if I had the proper length katana, it's a little bit unwieldy as a sidearm.
Yeah, that thing, I seen you post that up not too long ago. That is pretty cool. Do you collect too, or do you just mod?
I collect a little bit. Like I have at least one of each version of the Raven. I've got one of each different strife. I've got so many strifes in my workshop right now because they're just useful for modifications and commissions and stuff. But I typically just collect the blasters that I particularly like the Raven and such, as well as all the homemades that I have, like the Spring Thunder, my number 69 Caliburn, the Urban Ops pistol, that sort of thing. Which right now I am working on the Prism by Adrian, which is just a rainbow pistol. I'm also going to be printing up the Meeker assault pistol because pretty soon they're going to be releasing a file for a flip down breech for sledge fire shells. So it's effectively a mini sledge fire. And I already have the shell pieces printed for another Urban Ops pistol, but in my colors to match my Chimera and such. I just need to actually go out and get the hardware for it.
So what hobbies did you have as a kid? Were you always into building things or what?
Legos. I painted miniatures at one point. I built car models. What else did I do? And like growing up, I even had a Koosh Tornado, which I wish I still had, because I can make a quite beefy little blaster out of that thing now.
Oh yeah, I remember those, dude.
Yeah, that thing's one of the reasons I really like purple, because it was a kind of funky, curvy looking purple blaster, and I thought it was really neat. And I immediately lost all the rings.
Oh. NorCal.
Oh, good.
I was just gonna say, NorCal Nerf Club said he loves Valour's Hades. That blaster is
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
The black and blue Hades. Yeah. That thing's actually going to Homely 665.
Oh, nice.
And it has a matching Chronos I did with it. I just need to I have a few commissions for him that I need to finish, but lately it's just been kind of hard with the weather.
Yeah.
And I have a commission for a bullpup strife that I've had going for a few months that I've just been up and down a lot lately, so it's kind of been difficult to get that thing done.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, if someone wants to get a hold of you for a commission, how would they get in touch with you for that?
The easiest way is through my Facebook page. But at the moment, I am sort of slowing down on taking commissions because I have that queue I'm trying to get through.
Gotcha. I just know that someone's probably going to ask, in the future, like comments or something. So I want to throw that out there first.
I do occasionally get requests for commissions through my Etsy page and through the subreddit even. But mostly I've been getting them through my Facebook page, which... Facebook.com/Valours Blasters or Valour Blasters. I forget which one it is. I know that my YouTube channel's link is youtube.com/Valours Blasters, all one word. But
yeah, I'll put it in the description after the after the stream ends. I'll throw all the links. But I want to say hi to Prickly's Nerf Mods. Thanks for stopping by. NorCal Nerf Club. I don't know if I said hi to you yet. Mickey James. Mickey, thanks for stopping by, dude. Gear Vlogs, thanks for coming by. Kelly's Paulson, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Make sure to like the smash button. Like that smash button. So do you have any other hobbies at the moment, or just this?
Well, I have the background in music as well as the engineering and stuff, so occasionally I do write music, and I was a DJ for a living for a short time, and that was quite interesting because I actually was a DJ at a strip club for about a year until they needed to do maintenance and stuff, and business was slow, so they didn't really need a daytime DJ anymore, which oddly enough, yes, most strip clubs do have a day shift. It's mostly the older guys coming in for dances and whatever.
Did that also mean you had to get on the mic and go, let's bring Crown and Sugar to the stage?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Strip club DJing is less about your actual like mixing skills and everything, and more about just playing the next song, putting the next girl up on stage, maybe announcing drink specials that are going on. And it was really boring. It kind of, it was boring, to be honest, because my background DJing is like sort of in a party environment, club style DJing, where I just put together a 4-hour-long set or whatever until the next DJ is ready to come up, and then I go home. Or I'll hang out for a while. But
NorCal NERF Club said he DJ'd and managed strip clubs for 20 years. I'll be darned, man. Hey, and Lightning Eagle 14, thanks for stopping by as well.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much. We had another question. It was Homely. Oh, no, it wasn't Homely. It was Mickey. He was asking if you've ever modified an Infinus yet. He just got an Infinus, so I know that's probably why he's asking.
I haven't, but I have a rough idea of how I do it, but it mainly involves having to isolate the loading circuitry from the firing circuitry, and that will be a little bit difficult. I mean, there are ways to do it using things like a UBEC, which is basically a combination of a diode and a buck converter all in one. I've got a load of these 5-volt ones from having to do a lot of like brushless stuff, where I've been getting more and more into brushless blasters, which I actually have a let me grab it here.
Yeah, grab it on. Show and tell.
I've had this one going for the longest time, which is a brushless regulator.
Oh yeah.
But this one has an upgraded main board. If you look at the panel, you'll recognize it as the same type of panel that's on the V6 Select Fire kit, because it's made by the same guy. It's basically just a complete replacement for the Select Fire board in the regulator that has a few extra features like the ammo counting and the voltmeter, like the V6 Select Fire kit for the Strife. And I added a brushless kit to it since I had this, and I was like, you know what, I might as well. And right now, one of the motors is actually dead because it was a cheaper motor from China. It was like a $3 brushless motor, so I'm not too bummed about it because I have a spare, even though it's got opposite threads on the bolt, so I'll have to add some Loctite to that before I do anything.
I haven't even stepped up with the brushless motors yet, man. Yeah, I'm still really new to modding in general, so I've been doing like the basic flywheel mods thus far.
Brushless is quite scary.
Can you? I have a lot of folks in the chat that aren't, or not a lot of folks. But I have a lot of folks that are subscribed to me that aren't hip to like modding blasters and everything. Could you kind of just let them know what's going on with brushless as opposed to like regular motors?
Well, where a regular DC motor, like what you put in a Strife or whatever, has two sets of either carbon or, in a cheaper motor, like copper brush, which touches the axle and provides current to that, and actually alternates because there's magnets in the casing that make it spin. A brushless does not have that. It's all magnetism, as far as I know. And it uses 3 different wires that you have to use something like a brushless speed controller of some sort to control it. And to control that even, you need to use something like an Arduino or something similar. which the Arduinos are really easy to get nowadays, especially the Arduino Nanos that I like using. Because this 3-pack was $15 off Amazon. And everything's getting cheaper and cheaper because on top of being able to control the brushless motors with this Arduino, I could even add code for, say, a select fire setup or anything even. Like I can have it control LEDs at the same time, which I actually am working on my own custom brushless blaster along the same lines as the FDL, but with a little bit different ergonomics. And I've been experimenting more and more with the brushless setups. So I have this cage. Just never mind the fact that it's in a black stripe right now. It's not painted yet. I've been experimenting more and more with the newer version of BL Heli software that allows me to have custom startup music, if you listen.
Yeah. Yeah,
that is We Are Number One from Lazy Town playing over brushless motors. And there was no pre-made code for that, so I had to sit down with sheet music, which I have a background in music, so it wasn't that hard to sit down with sheet music and write code for it.
Yeah, you sent me that to my, I think you sent me that to a video of that to my messenger, you know, like.
I might have.
Yeah, that was freaking cool, man. It's really cool. I wish I could understand that stuff, you know. It's man, it's just
writing that code is not that hard, all things considered.
I've never written a code in my life.
The BL Heli Suite software makes it a little bit easier. Oh, hey, Pete Fuzzy Pete and Chris Cartaya are hanging out.
What's up, Cartea? Pete Fuzzy Pete. Good to see you guys. Cartea, I've had him on the channel already before.
Yep.
And Pete Fuzzy Pete's going to be on my channel in a couple of weeks, too. That's going to be pretty cool.
Oh,
also,
nice.
Wolfpack NERF, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And Agus Effendi, thanks for coming by. Much obliged. Thank you for coming by. Remember, you guys support each other's channels in the chat. You know, help each other out. Check out each other's things. Don't say I'm gonna sub to you, sub for me. Just say like, hey, dude, I support you, and then the other guy be like, hey, I support you too, bro. You know, just yeah, help each other out, man. We're all trying to grow. We all want that sweet monetization.
Yeah, that would be optimal.
Right? Yeah, I know. You know, I need the watch time. I'm like over halfway there in the watch time. You know, I just yeah, I have like 5 more months to get it or something. Yeah, I'm just almost there. All right, Scooter Girl, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming by. We got 22 people in here. Awesome. Remember to like the smash button, guys. So, hey, Josh, what's your least favorite blaster?
Like in terms of what, just overall?
Overall, like unmodded, and modded. It don't matter. Does any like what's your meh?
Even though people love to hate on things like the deploy and the Centurion, I just don't. I can't really say I have a blaster that I don't really like because I can find something useful in every blaster.
Yeah.
But the one I've had a lot of trouble with, especially lately, just kind of been trying to get it to function right, is the regulator because it's just been so finicky. But that's just because I'm trying to use the that select fire kit, that upgraded main board with something that's not meant to work with, because I had to short out certain pins to each other to get it to even turn on because originally the rev switch would turn on after you plugged it in, but because I'm using brushless and I have that rev switch going to something else, and you can't control the brushless setup with the upgraded main board because the main board would be trying to supply power to everything and it might fry something. So just trying to get that to work right, and then the that motor burnt out and everything. At first, I thought it was the speed controllers, and then those. So I got a different pair of speed controllers that have BL Heli firmware on them, and it's been rough, but eventually I will have it done. That way I can do a video on it, because that main board was actually sent to me by Enoch, who you may know of through people like Psych, because Enoch actually lives in Singapore, where Psych is. So.
Yeah, the Singapore crew. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. We have another question here. Rigel Star was asking, what's your favorite mod that someone else did?
Well, there are a few that Wallcom has done that I've really liked. Like, of course, the Deleter, and the old version of the Paradigm Shift, which was that like 3 Magwell Rapid Strike thing that he did. Which he's actually apparently he's working on a new one that's much improved, using like better motors and such, and using his experience from building that thing as well as everything else.
Oh, right on.
There have been a lot of blasters, because there are so many talented people in this hobby, like Prickly with his color matched Firefly stock Crimson Long Shot, Frankenzilla's stuff with like his CETA and his recent deploy that he's been working on. What else? Of course, people like Drac have made some really, really cool stuff. Coop, kind of a more classic one with his Poon bow, Bobo, which I actually helped him with that blaster that he hasn't even made a video on. It's been over a year. I did the paint work on a certain blaster of his, which I'm trying to. I don't want to kind of spoil too much of anything, but it's something I did help him with ages ago,
nice.
with a really, really bright paint scheme that with specialized paints that you can't really get here. And that was quite interesting, because that paint was a little bit difficult to work with. But in the end, it came out really nice. And pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah. Nerfing Lionheart Customs is asking, the most overrated blaster, in your opinion?
Gotta think about that one.
Most overrated. I'm trying to think too. What's the most overrated blaster to me? I almost want to say Prometheus, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's just a big. It's a double-sized Nemesis.
Yeah.
Which I actually saw that Exiled is working on a rifle version of the Prometheus.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Making
like
it into a big. Armored Nerf, I can see what you're saying with the Strife and everything, but the Strife, in my opinion, the Strife is the AR-15 of the Nerf hobby, and flywheels are the automatic transmission of Nerf.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
They all have their uses, they all have their purposes, and they all can be made into something really, really fun.
We had a question I just saw that that I just passed up. It was what was it? Favorite non-Nerf brand blaster right now?
Ooh. I haven't tried any of the newer things through like Buzzbee and stuff, but I've always really liked the Turbo Advance, which, if anyone remembers, I did the Doomslayer, which is now owned by Carius. But another one I really like is the monorail, that kind of tube-fed shotgun thing. But speaking like in terms of like actual non-branded stuff, my favorite like blaster has to be the Spring Thunder at the moment, because that thing's just so fun. Because whenever you have a 3D printer, you have infinite shells, and he's working on he's been working on a new version of the internals for that thing that make it so you don't need the O-rings for the shells anymore. It just has the seal on the actual bolt itself, which I suggested to him a while ago. because it would just make things easier overall, where you can just print up the shells and use them right away instead of having to super glue a O-ring to the back of them. Just makes things easier overall.
I haven't really. I've used them like twice. I think I've used not even in a game or anything. Just kind of just messed around with them. One of the guys at BTA let me fire it off like right when they first were coming out, you know.
Yeah.
And then Boomtendo brought one with him when he came to Ragna. You know, he came out with one. It was either Ragnar or a BTA tournament. I forget which one, but he let me mess around with that a little bit. But yeah, I really don't have much experience with them, but they're friggin' awesome. Because I already like the shotguns as they are. Yeah. You know, I really like the shotgun blasters, and yeah, so I really do dig that. Especially a shell ejecting stuff is so cool, man. I think it's so cool,
especially for like at Nuke Lanta, which is a Fallout themed LARP. Having a shell ejecting shotgun is just so cool.
Yeah, it's
because it looks impressive.
And it's satisfying as hell, dude. It's satisfying, dude. Like the sledge fire when you eject the shells, that's really, I don't know, it's just satisfying, man.
Speaking of the sledge fire, I need to actually work on mine because I have the Comet barrels from Maoliang, because I did a review on them ages ago. Like it was an earlier version of it that had it had a quite poor dart fit in the barrel because it had a tightening ring at the beginning, and then it was very, very loose throughout the rest, so you didn't get quite good performance at all, even with a single barrel and a Century 836, which is a really good spring. I was getting better performance with the old barrel and a regular slug shell. But I'm planning on rebarreling that and maybe even using one of my Specs BZs to HPA it.
Oh, wow. Nice, man.
Yeah, I had 2 of these Specs BZs on pre-order.
Oh. You know what I think my favorite non-NERF brand blaster has got to be the Reflex 6, Zuru Reflex 6, that pistol. I really like that, dude.
That is a very good pistol.
Yeah, it's so cool. I really dig it.
I like I designed some dart holders for each side that go in place of the sticker.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's actually really convenient.
And I printed it in a green film that matches the priming handle, which I need to actually do something with mine. And then maybe what I want to do is brass it and then maybe sell it on. Just trying to think of a good paint scheme for it. Maybe something Fallout inspired, because I've been playing a lot of Fallout 76 lately. Despite the fact that people have been hating on that game so much, like despite its flaws, I'm still enjoying it because one, it's kind of bizarre being in game and going to places that I've been in real life because I used to live there, and 2, I still like the gameplay and the lore and stuff.
Yeah, it's I like the Fallout New Vegas is still one of my all-time favorite games. You know, it's so fun. But yeah, that game, I haven't played 76, but I've heard all the crap it's been getting too.
Yeah.
We also had another question here. It was Lightning Eagle was asking if you considered doing painting tutorials.
I really don't do anything special painting wise. I just kind of have a paint scheme in mind and I go for it because I just use basic painting techniques. Like from just laying, like sanding is very, very important, especially, but sanding, then laying down the base coat or primer, whatever, to fill in, and then just going on top of that and on top of that, typically going for like a lighter to dark or whatever, depending on what kind of look I'm going for.
So
there are far better like tutorial people than I for that, because I'm terrible at explaining things.
What would you say is your favorite mod that you've done thus far?
Like, even though it wasn't like too involved of a mod on my side of things, I've really been enjoying the if you recognize this this upper shell, this is the UG1 Retaliator kit with the men gun pump grip and everything. But this is actually on a Worker Prophecy shell with their expanding stock, and this is the replacement of my Retaliator because the Orange Modworks hybrid kit actually killed 2 of my Retaliator shells because the expanded plunger tube does not have the pegs on the side that go in those slots to kind of support on like those rubber pads or whatever. So all the force is put right on the front of the plunger tube and actually killed those front supports. Even after reinforcing it with things like epoxy putty, I probably could have reinforced it with like a machine screw or whatever, but I just was at my wit's end with it, and I needed it done for me to have it for the Nerfing for Autism event. So I just rush ordered a Prophecy shell from Out of Darts, used a and I tried using the Orange Modworks plunger tube in there initially, but due to the fact that the Prophecy shell has minimal supports on the inside for a regular sized plunger tube, the plunger tube would actually tilt and make it so you could not release the catch. It would interfere with the catch and make it so you just couldn't fire. So I just took it out, which I'll probably use this in the Recon Mark II that I have the trigger that came with that kit in right now. And I used a Worker XPT, which gives me even more power. But yeah, if you're using the Orange Modworks hybrid kit, it's best to either use the stock spring, or not stock spring, but the spring that comes with the kit, which is only a 6 or 7 kg. And be sure you put it in like a blue Retaliator shell, if anything, or Recon Mark II. But even then, be a little careful with it because white Nerf plastic is weaker for whatever reason. But with this and the Orange Modworks 9 or 10 that I have in here, it's getting really good performance with full length and half lengths. The only thing is, dart choice is important because broad tip darts do not work in the full sealed breech. Well, it's a mostly sealed breech. But things like men gun darts, I've had some decent luck with AccuFakes for whatever reason. Might be because I've actually waxed the barrel of this a little bit, which was just kind of an experiment to see if I could actually wax a plastic barrel. But like men gun darts, tapered waffle tips, nipple tips, and worker darts especially work great in this.
What would you say is like your least favorite mod that you've done, or one that just pains you to think about?
Let me. I have done a while back for, I think it was Hybern Warrior on Discord or whatever.
Yeah.
I made him a bolt action expanded plunger tube Retaliator, like sniper rifle type thing. It was kind of themed after the Metro games. If you've ever played like Metro Last Light or whatever.
No, I haven't played those.
Was a kind of somewhat post-apocalyptic Russian type thing or whatever. So I made this kind of bolt action Retaliator, but with a custom-made stock because I just bought the metal bolt itself from NF Strike for the commission, and I made a brass breech and everything. But I think I might have had the barrel a little bit too long for that, and performance was a little bit iffy at times. And I'd like to go back and redo it, as well as Bradley Phillips's Chronomag, because on that thing even, performance was a little bit iffy because the pusher was printed, and it has a smaller diameter than what I would have liked. But I've been getting better, and with the Alpaca Chronomag, it has a wider inner diameter, but the next one of these I do, I will likely use a proper brass breech or just have a brass pusher sleeving into some 9/16 that is then put over some 17/32 to create a nice closed breech and have it be higher powered and everything. I'd like to send him a new one eventually, but right now I just don't have the budget to spend like $50 for shipping to Australia.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you the Nerfing for Autism event that you were just talking about. Could you let us know a little bit about that? What was that all about?
It's just a kind of a standard war, but they're selling a lot of things at the event, either be it food or say blasters, accessories. They even had some stuff that was donated by Coop, out of Darts. Bobo even donated some stuff. Captain Xavier, the Foam Blast ladies, I believe, also donated some stuff to be sold, and the proceeds of that go to charity. But it's just everyone having a good time. It's actually held a paintball field, so there are a few different like arenas. Like there's a standard just open field with the inflatable barriers. Then there is the more kind of built up sort of arena that has some like building obstacles and stuff in it, which it was partially damaged because of the hurricanes that had kind of blown through the Carolinas over the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were working on getting that kind of rebuilt and fixed. But it was a good time overall. And that was kind of where I did a lot of testing on the Alpaca Chrono Mag. Because with that K26 and the snub barrel, it has just enough power to clear the field and not seriously hurt any of the smaller kids that were there.
Yeah. Right on. Did you guys, how much did you know how much you guys raised?
I have to talk to the guy who runs the Raleigh Youth NERF Club, but I know we raised at least a few hundred, if I remember correctly.
Right on, man.
It was something.
Yeah.
It's not as big as, like, say, the SCNC could have raised, but, you know.
No, it's awesome when you guys, you know, do something like that for a good cause, you know, everyone. And I mean, you're going out and having fun, you know, while you're doing it. So, you know, it's really good. That's a really good thing. How did you get started on YouTube?
I kind of just did it. Like, there's nothing to it but to do it, really. Like, I saw that people liked the things I was building, and people were asking me, like, how I do things, and like asking me my opinion on like new blasters and parts and kits and stuff that come out, which like I was like, okay, I kind of just started making videos. I think one of my first videos that kind of got some notoriety was there's like a 4-stage afterburner jolt, because I just have a bunch of stock flywheel cages and stuff lying around because I mod so many flywheel blasters. So I kind of just hot glued them all together, wired them up to a 4S LiPo, which ended up burning out pretty much all the motors, and just stuck it on the front of a Jolt for the sake of a video, which I think I might have it still here. Let me see here. It's kind of just on my desk, I think. Is this it? Yes, it's right here. Which I'd used a long shot jam door as kind of a battery tray type thing to hold it, and this is a heavy duty micro switch from, I think it might have been from a washing machine. Like, it's the button gets closed whenever you close the door. But I just wired it all up using some 16 gauge Teflon coated wire that I had lying around. Didn't even heat shrink it or anything. And just hooked it up to an XT60, sat it on top, and then had it on the front of the Jolt. And it made quite a hefty thunk whenever the dart would hit the wall.
Oh, I've seen that video, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming apart now, but yeah, it served its purpose.
Yeah. So how long ago was that? How long have you been on YouTube? It's fairly recent, right?
I've had a YouTube account for the longest time. I just never did anything with it. Let me check my channel to see whenever the first like kind of big upload I did was. Videos.
But you just basically had a channel, like just had a channel, just want to upload.
Yeah, just I had an account just so I could have subscriptions and stuff like everyone else does.
Yeah.
The first video I did was a year ago, and it was just a test of the Atomic Punk long shot.
Uh,
And it's literally a video of me in my kitchen with I think it was a worker dart, firing it just to kind of see how fast it was on camera. And this was before I even had a chronograph, so I don't even know what like what it was firing initially. But after a while, I found out that it was firing at around it was like 230 with full lengths, and it was getting around 250 with the half lengths.
right on, man. Yeah. And you just so when you started uploading that, you just mainly started doing NERF or blaster content.
Yeah. I mean, I tried doing some streaming of like my workshop and stuff, and then like I'd do a little bit of workshop stuff, then I'd switch over and do some gaming and everything. But I found out quite quickly that because I have kind of crappy internet, having a very limited upload speed makes it so I can't really stream at more than potato quality.
Right. I have the same as you, man. Like actually, Homely, when I was doing his interview a few months back, like it was just the quality was just so bad. Like I kept, I just kept getting all like, pixelated, like looking blurry, and it was choppy, and then it cut
out.
On my
side of things, it looked whenever I stream, it's just a slideshow.
Yeah, yeah, mine's bad, dude. Especially when I do the Nerf night streams too. But that's just because I had an old phone. But I got a better phone now to stream on. So hopefully my Nerf night streams will get a little bit better. So you've been making videos about a year now, and it's mainly blaster content. So what do you have any plans for your YouTube channel? Like, do you have any ideas of like streams coming up or like any series or anything?
Not really, just mainly like reviewing parts and stuff that I get in. Like I want to get Gavin's SPAMF adapter for the Falcon Fire that has the Katana magwell and everything on it. I'd like to do a video on that and a kind of build around that, which I still need to do a sort of full build around the mediator parts that he sent me. Like I reviewed the parts themselves, but I've just been so busy taking care of commissions, I haven't had a chance to really do too much of my own personal stuff. Like I will occasionally stop doing a commission for a little bit just to kind of take a break from that and to build something for me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I will go a little bit insane. Just obsessing over all the small details about commissions.
Totally understandable, dude. Linda's House of Chill, thanks for stopping by.
Hello.
Eli, thanks for coming by, Eli. I haven't seen you around here in a while on my stream anyways. And What the Foam, thank you, What the Foam, for coming by. I appreciate it. I really like your Facebook group, your Facebook page anyways, your news page. That's really awesome stuff you guys do. And Nerfer of the Week is good too. But What the Foam is asking if he's asking Valour, are you planning on designing any of your printed blasters? I would love to see what you come up with.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I have a plan in mind for a brushless blaster along the same lines as the FDL, but slightly more low tech. Rather than using an Arduino for absolutely everything, I'm mainly just wanting to use the Arduino for controlling the motors themselves, and then having something like a solenoid for the pusher, using a toggle switch to have either single fire or full auto. Because I've known about solenoid pushers and stuff like that for the longest time because I used them a lot in engineering class in high school. But it kind of took Liam Davis or whoever making that video, kind of showing off his janky McJank face, which is just a board with a flywheel cage, magazine, and a solenoid pusher on it, to kind of remind me that those were a thing.
Nice. So what about your local community? What's your local community like, the Nerf community?
The only thing that's really close is the Raleigh Youth Nerf Club, and even then they wore at the paintball field in Hillsborough, which is an hour drive. The only thing that's really close to me is UNCG, which does HVZ, and that's where I do a lot of my playing at. Just in terms, because they usually have the week-long games. So what I'll usually do is I'll just kind of get up, drive to the first event, like the first mission or everything, and that's usually like a night mission, and just play HVZ all week.
Yeah.
Commuting is a little bit taxing on the gas and everything, but it's only about a half-hour drive to Greensboro for me. So.
Okay. How often do you go to wars? Like, how often do you guys have wars? Wars out?
The next one with the Raleigh Youth Nerf Club, I think might be in February, but whenever I have like the money to, I usually try to go to whatever SENC wars I can. But for one, it's a lot of money in terms of gas, as well as it being a 6-hour commute for me to go all the way down to Georgia.
Oh yeah, dang. Yeah, that would be
It's exhausting.
Yeah, totally, man. That's about as far as I am to like Cartea and OC Nerf and them. You know, about like 7 hours away from them. But I would like to go down there too. You know, I'd like to go down there and get involved in some of their games over there. What are your favorite game types?
I've always really liked HVZ, but that's because that's why I end up playing the most of, because of just my local situation. I do like things like sort of deathmatch and everything. I like sort of indoor, sort of enclosed areas. Like I've done wars in like laser tag arenas, the paintball field and stuff. And being able to kind of hide behind cover and stuff is really, really fun. It's a little bit less fun for me at places like the SCNC, where they play in at Cobb, like East Cobb Park or whatever. So it's kind of big and open with some sporadic trees in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bit imbalanced whenever you have a whole team, like when you have loads of people on the opposite team who have Caliburns and FDLs, and the other side just has lightly modified blasters. To be competitive, you really need something like a Caliburn or an FDL.
Yeah.
Or the Chimera, which I was having some issues with it, where the trigger would pivot in the channel. It would slide through, and it would bind on itself and make it so you couldn't pull the trigger. Northeast Designs has actually been working on a new version that actually has a proper pivoting trigger to actuate the catch, as well as some other things that make it a little bit better to use. Like here's the foregrip for it, which is a little bit longer. So you like if you have an older version of the Chimera that has the shorter threaded rods, you will need to get a longer set of threaded rods, as well as the carbon fiber tubes, which luckily mine is the number 0 of the hardware kit, so it actually has longer rods because it was meant for the K-spring swap cap, which adds some length to the blaster overall. But after that, I'll just have to get new carbon fiber tubes or arrow shafts or something for that. And hopefully, whenever he releases those files, I'll get to do a video on it and everything, and that'll be good.
Yeah.
Because it replaces everything from the magwell forward. He even has a new kind of sear cover plate thing that is more angular, but I might just keep my old one because it's kind of nice to have a remnant of the old blaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I'm actually I'm just getting into HVZ, like no Oktoberfest. I had never really played HBZ on a large scale. It's always been like a really small thing. And but yeah, like playing at Ragnar Oktoberfest, we had that Stalking Dead, so it was humans versus zombies. It was so much fun. You know, I was tagging along. Me and Spam Man were together the whole time. It was pretty cool. You know,
Spam's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. We were the defensive duo. But yeah, we it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I would definitely like to get more involved into HVZ. And that actually brings up Monkeytron is asking if you were at End War.
No, I wasn't. Though even though I wasn't, I made sure that my blasters were, because I built a lot of things. I built some stuff for Foam Freaks, which the Stampede that they auctioned off or whatever, or held a raffle for, which Homely actually ended up getting.
He's getting everything.
I did work on that Stampede because I made a custom stock box for it and everything that has a magnetic backplate with a more comfortable butt plate on it. As well as some of the other blasters I built for them in the past. They had displayed Devil's Nerf Works. I built a Strife using his parts, and it was Neo Rhinos in a Dr. Snickers cage, and it had the windows on both sides, as well as the V6 Select Fire kit.
Mm-hmm.
And all that was put together with his Masada kit and a Blaster Forge battery holder stock. Like it was the Retaliator stock, but added a battery box to it. And that all overall worked quite well. He didn't get to run it too much because it actually ended up being a little bit rainy, so he didn't want to run it for fear of frying it, even though I am quite confident that it would have been fine to get a little bit of rain on it.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry, I guess, you know?
Yeah. I forget if I had anything else displayed. I think I also had the Doomslayer displayed at the Foam Freaks booth as well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which Clowny was eyeballing that thing so bad, from what I was told.
Yeah. You plan to go next year?
I'd like to. Love to see if budget allows for that, but yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if it's close, I mean, if it's in Georgia this time or close to Georgia, I mean, I guess it'd still be a drive for you, but a little easier, I guess, than where it was.
Yeah, less of a drive than Ohio.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Still a crazy drive from California. I don't know. Maybe I could hide in someone's luggage. You know, I don't. You know, maybe when I'll hide in Jangular's trunk if he's going. But yeah, it's I would definitely like to go. I was just lucky that Ragnar Oktoberfest happened 10 minutes from my house. I was like,
that made things easier for you.
Right? Yeah, that's like the only reason I could barely afford that. I barely could afford tickets to that. It was, oh man, but yeah, that was the only reason I was able to go. But I would definitely like to go to more events too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was invited to Ragnar Oktoberfest, but just budget to go all the way to California and back.
Yeah, I totally understandable.
Like, if I had some sort of sponsorship, I would have gone, but you know,
yeah,
me being a smaller like builder, maker, YouTuber, whatever you want to call me. I don't really consider myself a YouTuber. I'm just a maker. But I could have gone then, but yeah, whatever.
So what are your thoughts? I ask everybody this question. What are your thoughts on the state of the community at the moment? Of the
lots of up and down with like how especially politics have been lately. I've sort of stopped being too active on the NERF Discord server because of some things that went down that I don't really want to get into at the moment. Concerning some other people in the community, more prominent people than I.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And just way they've been treated. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I had never been on the R NERF server. I had just joined it when that happened too, so I still haven't been back.
I'd been on it for a while, but I was the only Discord server I'm really active on is the Fuzzy Walrus Industries one, Walcomm's server, as well as a couple other like I am occasionally on the SDNC's Discord, but that server is a little bit kind of dead at the moment. Not many people are using it. And then like occasionally I will hop into Jangular's server to say hello and kind of show off things I've been working on. I mean, it's like I'm not that active on Arner's like Discord, but I still do post and talk and stuff on the subreddit itself. So I haven't completely abandoned Arner.
So what are your what are some of the positive things in the community then?
Oh, I mean, just seeing all the stuff that people have been making lately. Like there are so many people that are coming out with 3D printed blasters and kits and everything now. I saw this really nice one on the subreddit earlier today. Let me see if I can find it again. It was a really nice flat top rapid strike, similar to what I did with the rapid strike I did recently. But it had a really cool white and galaxy theme to it. And it was really nice. See if I can find it. Oh, here it is. By Vicolai. And currently it has 412 upvotes. And it's really nice. It's a really nice sort of sci-fi aesthetic, and I can appreciate that. Because in terms of the hobby, I don't really like going too real steel with my stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I definitely understand.
Like if I want a real steel, I'd end up doing paintball or something.
Or real steel.
Or airsoft. Like, real steel kind of scares me in a way. I mean, I've used and fired actual guns and stuff, but I prefer Nerf.
Yeah, I mean, I've done paintball. You know, I did paintball when I was in high school, and then when I was in the Army, I started getting into airsoft, and but now I'm just really I'm not even going back to those. You know, like I was getting into laser tag. I wanted to start doing laser tag because I got injuries from the service and I can't move around like I used to. You know, I'm technically disabled, so it's like I'm not very quick. And I would just get pelted like crazy. So I wanted to get into laser tag. And then when I was looking up laser tag stuff, like all this NERF stuff started popping up on YouTube. I was like, why is NERF popping up? You know, what's going on with this? And then I started finding all the mods and the gameplay footage and all that, and just got me into NERF, dude. But I'm big into this. I'm never going back to like paintball or airsoft, dude. This is really fun for me, man.
Yeah, nerfing in a laser tag arena is really cool, especially if you have things like glow darts and like neon paints and everything. Like, I like using a lot of neon paints or just kind of UV reactive stuff. I even have what I used on a strife a while back, if you remember that Geiger, which was that kind of rifle type thing with the sling fire stock and the kind of custom frame that I designed, and it had that really high end glow paint. That is great in a blacklight arena because it just reacts so easily and it glows really bright.
I want to get the new Boomco glow darts. You know, they have the glow clips.
Yeah, I saw that they have the that glow magazine or glow clip.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get, I'm getting more into Boomco now. I got the Blaze of Glory. My girlfriend got it for me. So for Black Friday sales were super cheap. So, she actually, Boom Tendo mentioned it to her. He kind of nudged her. He was like, hey, Jason would probably like this. So thank you, Nintendo.
I would use Boomco more if Boomco darts are a little bit more easily accessible. Because they are still a little bit expensive, and you can only get them in limited quantities. I mean, I know Boomtendo is working on getting some custom ones made and everything that he can sell in bulk with like a smaller head, so you can actually make a proper brass breech for them and everything. But until that kind of takes off, I don't really see myself using too much Boomco, just for that reason that it's not as prominent. I mean, if you're the only person running Boomco at a war or an HVZ or whatever, you're going to have to bring all your own ammo and be sure you can dart sweep your own ammo back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the things that kept me from getting into it, was because I'm pretty poor, so I darts all the time. And I'm going to have to use loaner darts a lot. I had to use loaner darts a lot too. So, yeah, so I just needed to go with streamlines. But Boomco darts right now, they're on sale. Like, they've been going cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Listed on my Facebook. They have 200 packs on Amazon for like 12 something. Like,
yeah.
It's pretty. It's still, more expensive than you could get like the other, like streamline, streamline darts for. But that's I think it's still pretty. I think it's really good, man.
It's one of the reasons I'm glad that they're bringing back Vortex, because I like my Ravonics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vortex is sweet, especially indoors.
You can see this is just a Retaliator stock that I have a 3D printed buffer tube adapter on with a buffer tube style stock over it. It makes the Retaliator stock useful.
Yeah, we use
it's just a bit short for most people. I mean, Ed Scar makes a good point that it's better for younger kids because it's short, and things like the Raider stock and stuff, and even nowadays with workers expandable stocks like this one, which is my favorite ever so far. It's super solid, and it's just the right length for me because I'm about 6 foot even, and I've got quite long arms, so having a decent length stock is great.
Vortex, we like here at the church, we do the Nerf nights. Vortex is really good for indoors because the way we play, we count ricochets on Vortex only. Ricochets will count on Vortex. So, dude, we got people bouncing them off the walls and getting tags. It's really cool, man. But yeah,
Rival's great for that as well.
Yeah, we don't count them though. We don't count ricochets.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly why I make it a little more fair. So what advice would you have for like new modders coming into the hobby?
I'd say start with something more basic. Like a little while ago, I did a video for Turf Springs Australia where I just kind of showed how to do a basic spring swap on a Retaliator and how to remove the locks and everything, how to fix the trigger pull if you don't like the fact that the trigger only activates right at the end of the pull and everything. And something like that, or even a single shot pistol would be really good. Say with a Night Finder or Fire Strike. You don't even have to brass it, just seal up any sort of release holes, knock out the air restrictor old school style with a screwdriver, and use something like K26 or one of the pre-made sort of springs for things like the Fire Strike.
All right.
And or if you want to kind of get more into modding and not have to do anything too heavy, get one of the Mega Blasters and get the barrel reducers from work or whatever that you can reverse, because that way you can swap back and forth if you don't like shooting elites really hard.
Yeah. Right on, man. And one more. We had another question from the group, and then I'm gonna ask one more after that. He's asking, Ouchie is asking, what do you have a favorite air blaster?
I I recently thrifted a. Let me see if I can find it. It's right here, actually. The Rapid Fire 20 or whatever this is. Whenever I thrifted it, the trigger was broken because the trigger has a lever inside that actually pushes down the blast button.
Yeah.
I managed to fix that using some wire that I melted into it and everything, and it's really fun. It takes a lot of pumps, so I was contemplating doing a compressor mod or something to it.
Oh.
Similar to what Bobo did with his Mag Strike way back when, back in the sort of the dark ages of HVZ. But on top of that, like the Gobzuka, my friend Weston has a Gobzuka that he modified into what he calls the cannon, and it's got a car oil funnel with 38 lengths of CPVC. So he has a 38 shot shotgun, 38 dart shotgun with that thing. And it's fun with the Gobzuka to just throw a rival ball down into the tank and then fire that single rival ball because it flies pretty far.
We have we have a wildfire here, old Nerf wildfire. Those are awesome.
Yeah. This is just the evolution of that.
Yeah, I used one in one of my videos. I did a giveaway and I wrote down like a different person on each dart, and I had the pastor fire all the darts at me, and I had a blindfold on, and I picked up like 2 darts off the ground blindfolded to choose the winners. It was really fun. But yeah, but the wildfire is really cool, man. It was so cool, and it had quite a kick to it too, man.
Yeah, especially if you like do things like plug the pump. This thing has it's a bladder. That can hold quite a lot of. It's got the gray part here is the tank, but the tank actually holds a bladder that has a expanding sort of plate in it that seals, and it actually does have a release as it gets full. I just like how fast it fires. It would be great to just hook this up to even an LPA rig, because it's a great sort of. I see it more of as a secondary for whenever you need to just dump a load of darts on either a single person or a group of people.
I want to get the Boomco. I forget the name of it. The Boomco, the Halo one, the Halo rifle air blaster one. Dude, I want to get one of those.
Halo. Not the Needler.
No. The one that
the MA5.
Like,
the MA5.
That's it. Yeah, I want it. I always get it mixed up.
There's actually an old kit for the Raven that someone designed, and you can still get on Etsy. But it is a kit for the Raven that uses a recon light and a recon retaliator barrel, and just makes your Raven into the MA5 before the Boomco MA5 even came out. And Carius made a really good integration of the MA5 with the Raven, so it was proper bullpup and was full auto and had a built-in afterburner and stuff. If I could find the link for that video, I'll probably like share it on Facebook again, because that was just so cool. Nice.
Yeah.
But the Raven really does not get enough love, which I'm kind of hoping to fix that and bring more attention to, because people like Blaster Revolution made a really good few kits for the Raven. Like you might have seen one in the background of Drax videos lately, but it's the Titan Rock kit, which this is still kind of raw printed plastic. You can see where I had to use some purple and everything, but it extends the stock out, gives you a battery holder stock, so you don't need to have an expanded battery tray on the side. It gives you an extended barrel that makes it a little more pointable, that is completely wide on the inside, so it's not going to impact your performance at all, at least no more than the Raven's internal barrel already has. Then you can have things like the handguard that he offers with it. But I plan on just having some more worker rail and having a different foregrip like the Captain Slug Pyrangle grip. And the only reason I haven't really worked more on this is because I'm waiting on a part from Roboman. Um his something Ranger Raven cage is a bit of an odd spacing for a flywheel cage that I've not really seen before, which is 41.75 millimeters crush. Normally you see 41.5 or 42, but not 41.75 millimeters. Turbo Ranger. Thank you, Eli. But that was the main thing I'm waiting on for this. And I was wanting to use it because there is a thing that Tungsten made that allows you to use katana mags with your Raven. And he has an extended pusher piece that you just kind of slot into the original pusher so you can use half darts, and it's a forward-facing mag adapter.
Someone was asking me what software you use, what 3D software you use to design.
I just use Fusion 360 because it's quite usable, and I used to use a lot of AutoCAD back in high school and stuff, so using Fusion is quite close to AutoCAD for me. It was easy enough to just kind of translate what I knew to Fusion 360 from AutoCAD. But yeah, Tungsten's Katana mag adapter is really great, and I intend to use it with the Titan Rock Raven that I'm working on. And using the 10-round Katana mag just keeps the sort of bullpup appearance really well because it's short.
Yeah, I dig that. That looks really good. Yeah.
I've got at least one of every Raven.
Nice.
I got Elite Raven. I got two the Green Ravens. I've got 2 Stingers, and I've got 1 Raven Fire.
None of them.
even though it's not quite as in the hobby as the Strife is nowadays, it's the proto Strife effectively, and
yeah.
I just like its ergonomics. The stock is a little bit short for most people. I don't mind it, but things like the Titan Rock kit, the Worker, like they have an FN 2000 kit for the Raven now, as well as like the original one that lots of people checked out. They actually extend the stock out for people who need longer reach.
Eli says, "I love Ravens." Yeah, I like Ravens too. I just haven't had my chance to own one yet. I look for them when when I thrift, and when I use like the Offer Up app. It's a really good app if you're thrifting. That's a really good one. I saw one pop up for like $10. It was a Stinger Raven, and like
Stinger really for 10?
For wow. $10. Yeah, and I mean, it was obviously that's someone from the hobby that was selling it,
Yeah.
But it was posted for like an hour, and I only caught it like for an hour. Like I saw it within an hour, and
I got sniped effectively.
Immediately, dude. It was like I messaged them, and then like they didn't answer back, and then like for like 2 hours, and then they messaged back with this item's been sold. Yeah.
Another I like using is Let Go, same sort of thing, and Mercari. With Mercari, it's a similar sort of thing to eBay, but you don't have to worry about the person like selling it before you're able to get to it. Like if you're able to buy it right away, you can actually just buy it, and they'll get a notification it's been sold, and they'll ship it to you instead. I forget how much of a cut that Mercari takes over eBay, though.
Yeah, I've used that site too. I never knew how to pronounce it though. I used to call it Mercari. I didn't know how it was pronounced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like just one more thing for you, man. Before we end, we've already been going for like an hour and a half. It doesn't feel like it. Yeah, right. It doesn't even feel like it. Last one is, do you have any plans? Like, what are your plans for like your channel, for your mods? Like, any plans or goals that you have?
My main goal is to just keep making Blasters I think are cool. I mean, like, I try to put forth full effort into everything I do, like in terms of blasters, because people seem to really like whenever I make things, and I don't want to disappoint. Because I've got a bit of a terrible perfectionist streak when it comes to things, because just kind of my upbringing, and it's just kind of you know, like I get discouraged when things don't work out properly and everything, and it's compounded by like the fact that I suffer from depression and stuff. But that's besides the point. I've still managed to keep going though, so
That's good. This hobby's helped me out so much because I have depression, anxiety, insomnia. Ever since, when I got out of the army, this, it's really hit me. So it's
it does help to have friends in like the Fuzzy Walrus Industries Discord and everything to talk to. Like sometimes I'll just hop into a voice chat, and if anyone wants to hop in and say hello, and they will, and we'll talk for a little bit. Yeah, and I try to, like, if they have any questions about how to do certain things that I know how to do, I'll try to help them as much as I can.
Absolutely, yeah. I've met some good friends through this hobby, dude. Like really good friends. Here in the local community as well as online community. Yeah, so it's been really good for me. I was reclusive for like after I would, after I went to like a program for rehab and everything for like a year. I got out in like 2014, and I was like reclusive, dude. I would go to work, come home, and that was it. Like wouldn't go outside, wouldn't do anything, wouldn't talk to people. Like just basically work home, nothing else. And until about earlier this year, about February this year, I kind of just started getting into this, and it's gotten me out more. Like right, I would be home playing video games right now and just not talking to anybody, but instead I'm here talking with you. It's helped me so much, dude. This hobby is amazing. It does a lot for me.
Yeah, it was a similar sort of situation with me working at the bus factory, because I was being just worked absolutely to death there. Like having to wake up at 4 a.m, working like about 10 hours a day, and it'd be oftentimes 6 days a week. And a lot of the times, a lot of the fact that it would take 10 hours instead of just the regular 8 is because people would intentionally like slow down the line to force overtime and stuff whenever they really did not need to.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't have the best coworkers, so they're kind of mean to me. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm out of there now, and my life is better for it.
That's good, man. That's really good to hear. You have any like upcoming events or anything that you're going to be attending?
Nothing right now. Mainly just because budget's a bit tight. As far as I know, there is going to be an event after the new year for the Carolina Dart Coliseum and everything that I might go to. But where I had the past couple weeks be a little bit crazy, where I did the American for Autism event, then immediately the week after I went to New Atlanta, where you camp and everything, and I actually left early. I actually left Saturday night for home instead of like the Sunday morning like I was originally planning to, and I'm glad that I did, because it actually started snowing shortly after I got home, and it didn't stop until there was about 16 inches up on the ground.
Oh wow, dude.
Trust me, Boomtendo, if I could afford Smash Ultimate, I'd be playing it right now as well.
I'd be playing Red
Dead
Redemption 2, man.
I've been playing Smash since the first one on N64.
Red Dead Redemption is the one I really want right now. But, yeah.
I mean, I have Fallout 76, so I'll probably play some of that later. But yeah, I've been working on building a Caliburn for a friend who I play HVZ with and everything. Just trying to get something done at this point.
I hear you, man. Well, all right, dude. Thank you so much for being on the stream, dude. Taking the time out of your day to talk to me.
Yeah, problem. I'm nocturnal, so I'm up at night anyway. So.
All right, dude. I appreciate it, man, and I look forward to seeing more of your projects in the future.
It's been great, man. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out in the chat with us and getting to know Josh Church, aka Valour, Valours Blasters, a little bit better. He does awesome work, guys. He really does. His mods are amazing if you haven't seen them. I know he's really humble about it. He's pretty modest, but he does do incredible work. You got to see it. I have a link to his channel in the description, and after the stream is done, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put his Facebook in the description as well, so you guys can check out all his stuff. So also what I wanted to let you guys know too is I am so close to 1,500 subscribers. I'm super close. I'm like 30 away or something. So if I get to 1,500, I'm going to be giving away a blaster. I'm giving away an Elite Ruckus. So if I get to 1,500 guys, I'm going to be giving that away to my subscribers. Last time I decided to give 2 things away instead of 1, so maybe I'll do that again. You never know. Maybe I'll give away one of those dope t-shirts I got, which are for sale on my Etsy. If you guys go to the About section of my channel and check out the Etsy store, you can get some of that broke Nerfing merch. So yeah, check it out. Check out my shirts. They are pretty dope. Even if you don't like my channel, they still look pretty cool. So check those out. I'm going to be doing a New Year's Eve stream here. We're going to be doing a New Year's Eve mod party / Nerf night here. So we're going to be streaming that. Hopefully Boomtendo will be there. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So hope you guys can check that out. If you guys do enjoy this stream and you guys want to help keep me going, you know, I'm on a super limited budget here. You know, so I'm only allowed to work so many hours and all that. And just due to my issues that I have going on with my noggin and my back from the military. So it's like, you know, I really do enjoy making content for you guys. I really want to, I really want to keep upgrading the quality of my videos and of my streams. If you guys want to help me, you can help support me. You can become a patron on my Patreon. I have Patreon link in the About section as well. You can do it for like $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month, or you could choose your own amount if you want to, and it would really help out a lot, you know, and I would really, really, really appreciate it, guys, if you can. If you want to help support my channel and you do not want to be a patron on Patreon, I also have PayPal. The PayPal link is in the About section of my channel as well. You can check it out through the About section. You know, you just go up to where there's videos, and it'll go to the playlists, and all the way down is About section. Just click that. You go to the About section of my channel, and it has all the links there. You know, my freaking Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, you know, my Etsy and all that stuff. It's all there. So, and if you guys help me out on PayPal, I will give you the same benefits as I do my Patreon tiers. It's like shout outs every month. And also, I do the shout out tiers, but what I've been doing is I've been doing blooper reels. I've been taking all the outtakes of my videos and I've been putting them together, and I'm putting it in on my Patreon page just for my patrons, you know, just giving them a little extra content. I'm going to start doing more and more extra content for the patrons, just for the patrons. But if you do through PayPal, I'll get it to you guys somehow as well. But I do appreciate the support, all the support. And if you want to help support my channel and you don't have the money to, and I understand that more than you know, you just, you know, like the videos, comment on them, and share them with your friends as well. So yeah, so that's, you know, that helps as well, guys. Just watching videos helps as well. It helps me get that watch time up, which is going to get me monetized, hopefully. But I want to thank you all for showing up today. I know the quality was a bit bad because I couldn't get into the office to get to my new studio that I have in there. The key wasn't working, so I wanted to just get my stream out. So I wanted to get the stream going. Valour had his he took the time out of his day to be available at this point. So I wanted to make sure I can get him, you know, go live. So to get, and I wanted to make sure you guys could see my ugly face, you know. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by. Let me check the chat right now. Thanks, Empire. NorCal Nerf Club. You did get a broke Nerfing shirt. Thank you so much. I want to see a picture of you wearing it. Cybran Warrior 22. Thank you so much. Yeah, grab one of them t-shirts. Grab a couple. Grab them all. Nate Detroit, my dude from like a long time ago, man. Thank you so much. Boom Friendo, Boom Tendo. Thank you so much. He's almost at 1K too. Boom Friendo is, so help him out. Slater, one of my patrons. Thank you so much. Check him out. Wolfpack Nerf, he does some cool mods. Check him out too. The Homely 665, he's so supportive, such a good dude. Check out Homely 665. He's a really nice guy, and he does some really good videos. Really, you know, he's really he doesn't talk over your head. You know, it's just really you know, he's really relatable. Ouchie, thank you so much for coming by. These streams bring the best, broke. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Who else? I think I stopped my chat, so I can't really see everybody anymore, but I want to try and get everyone I can. Prickly's Nerf Mods. Thank you, Monkeytron Collective. Check out his new video out, the Nerf documentary about Brit Nerf. That's really cool. Frankenzilla, thank you for stopping by. He was my first Behind the Blaster episode, was Frankenzilla. Eli Jennings, thank you so much for coming by. I really enjoy his Nerf group as well. So yeah. Who else we got here? Who else we got here? Who else we got here? Let's see. I'm probably gonna miss some of you guys, and I feel really bad about it. Scooter Girl is here. Thank you, Scooter Girl. James Cooper, thank you so much. Tip. What the Foam? Thanks, What the Foam, for stopping by. Always a pleasure when you guys stop by. And everybody else who came by tonight. My chat won't go anymore. It's like at the top, guys. Sorry, it won't. I left the chat and came back, you know. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Remember, Patreon, PayPal, and buy that merch. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks so much. Oh, and the $100 giveaway